Hi, I'm Marianne Leffel, your host for Monterey County Open for Business. And we've got a great lineup today. One of the people that I want you all to know more about and to be able to reach out to is works for the county in an area that doesn't get a whole lot of recognition. And so we're trying to fix that. So we're going to do a little discussion here today about the business services that Monterey County actually offers to employers. And really, it's a huge benefit. So listen up. Laura Kershner, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so pleased to be here.
So you work for the Workforce Development Board
Yes, ma'am.
of Monterey County, and you are a business services representative.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, indeed. Think of us as the staffing agency for employers throughout Monterey County. Our services are provided at no charge to employers. It's paid for through your prepaid tax dollars. So we encourage you to utilize our services. We can help employers with HR screenings. We can help with referrals, with resumes. We can help them post jobs to the CalJobs website, which is a statewide database where job seekers are looking for work and employers can connect. We can help with a variety of things. We can help them with recruitments, which is think of a mini job fair for your own business. We do those through America's Job Centers. So there's a number of different services that are available to employers.
Okay, so let's break it down. So I'm an employer, and I've had a hard to fill position. I can actually come to you, and you can help me by putting it on a statewide website. And you can, can you also help me if you've got a pool of candidates? If you've got somebody, can you send me somebody that might be appropriate for that?
Yeah, what we can do is work with our case managers who are working one-on-one with job seekers and to find the person who is right for you. We can also search the CalJobs database for you if you need us to do that. You tell us what it is that you're looking for, and then we can look for that person. So we do function as a employer's staffing agency, so to speak, that is already paid for by your prepaid tax dollars. It's a service that we offer to all businesses throughout Monterey County. On the other side of that, we have a lot of job seekers here who are still looking for work, and the challenge is bringing those two groups together. Sometimes the job seeker might have been out of the job market for a little while, might have been laid off for whatever reason. Maybe they've got a ticket on their record. Maybe they're over 50 and having a little bit of trouble getting back in. So the idea is to bring those two groups together.
So if someone is out of work, there's a huge array of services at the county that I think a lot of people have no idea are there. Things like resume writing, just ways to interview, to help people. As you say, there are some people that have been in a job for a multitude of years, and for whatever reason that job goes away, or they go away from that job, and they haven't maybe kept up with all the skills that now the workplace is requiring because they've been comfortable and they've been adequate in the job they had. So there's training also that is being provided. Is that correct?
Indeed, through America's Job Center. We have an office in Salinas, in Marina, and also in Greenfield area for people to go and get service and be served with resume writing workshops, with maybe they need to know how to network, maybe they need to know how to interview, or how to approach an employer, presentation skills, maybe they need that type of thing. So there are resources available to them. We have a resource center in Salinas in particular if they don't have access to the internet, which many of our clients don't, or that they don't have computer access, that's available to them. So that's where, and CalJobs, which is the statewide database, is where employers and job seekers can connect. When I work with a business, I post their positions to CalJobs, and then a job seeker can log in and look at the position, get more information, and think, hey, is that something that I might be interested in applying for? We also offer job seekers the opportunity to come into the recruitments and to meet the recruiter from a certain business to find out and do a little in-person interview like we're doing to find out, hey, is that something that I'm interested in? We offer that to businesses, and that's a good opportunity to meet people in person in a sort of a friendly environment. And it's a benefit to both groups.
So I think something else that's offered is training for existing employees for a business.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm an insurance agency, and I need my employees to learn some new software or maybe a new type of Excel sheet or whatever, you also can work with, is it the Alliance Training Center in Salinas? So the county will actually pay for the cost of the enrollment and the class. Is that correct?
Yes, there is some subsidized training for people who want to advance with a company. And then there's also another program that we have if the employer is willing to train someone new coming in through the on-the-job training program. And that's a subsidized training program that we typically reimburse employer at 50% of an individual's wage for up to 3 months, or as long as it takes to learn a new position. The caveat being that they have to be able to have somebody on board to train that person, and that's called the on-the-job training program, what we affectionately refer to as OJT. It's all done by contract and negotiation. So it's important that the company be big enough to have somebody on hand to train, because what we're going to ask the business for is to put together a training plan.
So if people come to you and they actually have been laid off and from XYZ, I've worked at a dry cleaning place all my life, and now it's going away. But I see that I would like to be a phlebotomist. Okay. So there's actually a way that you can help the employer take a chance on me.
Right.
And I can have on-the-job training.
On-the-job training, yes.
So the employer has to make sure that they've got someone that will be dedicated to me and have the time to train me.
Have the time to train. That's
I'm not
the
just
caveat.
plugging in a space for them.
Correct, correct. Because we're going to come out and monitor just on a monthly basis to make sure that the employer is getting what they need out of the program, as well as the employee is being trained properly according to the contract. So it's all done by contract and negotiation. The employee cannot, or the trainee cannot start until the contract is in place. So it's really what we're reimbursing the employer for is the cost of the training, because we know time is money. So it can be a very good program. You have to make sure that you have the right fit between the employee who wants to do the job at the end of this and the employer who's willing to take a chance on somebody to train. And the employee has to be learning something brand new. So there must be a skill gap for us to put somebody in that position. So you can't put somebody with 40 years experience into a position that they've done before. So there has to be something new that they're learning. So it can be a very good program.
You know, I think it's a fabulous program if people will use it and use it appropriately. I think it's really a key to a lot of it, because the first 90 days, even if you know the job and you've done it other places, in a new place, it's different.
It's different. It's different, and you have to have a different. I beg your pardon. Maybe you can edit that. I'm a little croaky. You have to be learning a new skill set, so something completely new to you, so that there is a skill gap. And it can be with any business. It doesn't have to be anything in particular. We're willing to work with the business as long as they understand the training aspect of it.
So, and this is actually a very good way for people to try an employee. And it's a way for an employee to try an employer.
Right.
So it goes both ways.
Right.
How do you make sure, though, or how do you help to ensure? Are you using work keys testing so that you make sure that someone has some basic cognitive ability before you put them into
Yes.
these jobs?
Absolutely, and that is something that I know the Monterey County Business Council can help with, as well as we have 6 or 7 other employers locally that have our work keys certified. That ensures that the trainee is at a certain level, and it is a nationally certified test. So anybody who takes the work keys training has something to show, a wonderful certificate at the end of it that makes them very marketable across the country should they move to another area to say, hey, I'm certified, and that makes me maybe more qualified than the next person who's coming down the pike.
Well, it's not just, and I don't want to belittle, it's not that I have a high school diploma or I have a college degree. It actually says I am able to do
I'm able to do the job.
and
Yes.
I'm able to do this job because I've got the cognitive ability. So I think that's huge, which is why we've supported it forever as a business group. And I think it's important. So we're happy to partner with the county on that. And this is one of the few work-ready counties in the United States.
It certainly is. That's a hugely important. In our area, we have so many people who might have a high school diploma, but do not have the college diploma. And we have many jobs in between right there that require some experience. So we encourage people to certainly get certified in work keys, get the training, that mid-level training position where so many jobs exist nowadays is hard to find people for. There are a lot of jobs out there right now, as you know. It is very much, I keep saying it's a job seeker market, and the employers are saying, Laura, where is everybody? Where have they all gone? Well, I think our numbers reflect that. About 220,000 positions across Monterey County, 205,000 of which have been filled as of our April numbers. So that's 15,000 positions that are still open, but there's a lot more jobs even than that. So I think it's a matter of employers understanding that this is an expensive county to work in. One of your other guests said that, and that the wages need to keep pace with the
cost of
living here,
Yeah.
which is so high. And at the same time, the job seekers need to understand that employers are looking for quality applicants all of the time, and that you need to present yourself in such a way so that you're marketable to the employer. Make sure that you have your high school diploma. If you're going to apply for the CalJobs positions, most of them that I post to the database require at least a high school diploma, if not more than that. So do your best to make sure that you're marketable, whether it's that or having some college experience or having the experience in the field. That's going to make a big difference.
I think increasingly the community college is playing an important role in preparing the workforce. So I think it's incumbent upon all of us to communicate to the community colleges in particular, these are the skills that we need, and this is the type of job. And jobs have changed. They're not, I'll take a grocery clerk. It had a certain skill set that you needed, but it's much more technical now because of the use of the machinery and the equipment, and people just need to continue to brush up their skills. Which a lot of older people haven't done.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true. I was reading a article the other day that talks about the millennial generation, and we've heard a lot of maybe stereotyping of that group, which that happens with every generation. I know it did with mine as well. I'm a Generation Xer, and there were lots of negative things that were said at the time. And fortunately, I don't think all of those are true. But I think it's important for us to remember that generation that is coming full throttle now, it will be 2/3 of the workplace by about 2025. So, and they are bigger than the baby boom generation, and they have some different skill sets that they come in with, some at a very high level. They have some of the same concerns that previous generations have had. They want stability in the workplace. They want to be able to have offer their feedback. They want to be able to to just make a difference in their communities. They're looking for flexible work schedules, so they are an up-and-comer generation, and I think that's something for employers to remember, because we're trending in that direction now, and it's not necessarily all of those bad things that we hear about millennials. They've got something to offer that I think we need.
Let's talk about soft skills. We've just got a couple minutes left.
Yes, ma'am.
So soft skills.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe that's what employers say that the millennials might need a little help with.
Yes, and that is very true. That is what I've been hearing from employers, that they lack the communication skills. Whereas most of them are right here on the phone, but the in-person communication skills is something that is lacking, that needs a little bit of brush up. You might have a very good candidate who's skilled at this, that, or the other task, but they don't have the in-person skills that are necessary in everyday communication. So that is something that certainly somebody could learn in a first-time position, at a very first-time wage, making maybe $10.50 an hour. We need people to realize that there's honor in work, and there's honor in starting at the bottom and working your way up. And that's how most of us, for generation have learned. There's honor in working with people who know more than you. There's also it's just one of those things. Everybody has to start somewhere. And, if you're going to start in fast food or whatever it is, you're always going to be able to use your communication skills. And if you can do that in person with an employer or with a friend or whatnot, you are all the better off.
Okay. Laura, if someone wants to get in touch with you, how do they do it?
We have recently moved out to the Schilling Place, the Government Center. We're at 1441 Schilling Place North. They can call me at 796-3341 or send me an email, Kershner, KERSHNERL, at co.monterey.ca.us.
Okay, so hopefully people will find you, and I think the on-the-job training program is really important.
Yes.
I think the pre-testing that you can give candidates and the work you do with them before you send them to an employer is extremely important. So it's like having a little prepaid employment agency at the county level, but I think it's a valuable service. So
Absolutely.
Thank you, and thank you for what you do and how you represent the county.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Thank you. So Monterey County, open for business day in and day out. We've got employers, we've got employees. Everybody's looking for work or looking for somebody to work. So call Laura Kershner at Monterey County and get hooked up. We'll see you next time. I'm Marianne Leffel, host, Monterey County Open for Business. Thank you.